Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another political episode. I want to wish my subscribers and my base a Merry Christmas. It is December 25th as we speak. My Christmas festivities have concluded. This is why I've resorted back to the said internet, back to bringing you the news. And you're probably watching this late because, of course, you're not going to, put your family aside to watch my silly videos. Of course, this isn't even the right electoral college map. I fiddled around with this new Jackson Jude program, and as you can see, the electoral votes are scrambled up. 38 electoral votes. I'm going to try to fix it. But good news is we don't need the electoral college in this video, as we are specifically looking at Pennsylvania. I would love to have the electoral college votes back to normal. I think it's in settings. This is set in 1920. We can try to get it back into, let's see if it's 2020. This is early 2000. Okay, 2020. Okay, perfect. There we go. All right, there. So yes, we are taking a look here, and you'll see map is there. This is our 2024 map, and it's very detailed here. States in darkish, I say light red. That is said Arizona. Let's see. Get rid of the help option. Why do I need this? Out. I already know how to do this. Okay. We do not need. But I want my my pie chart along with the popular vote. But apparently, I'm getting to know this new program. It's a good program. JacksonJude.com. Tells you a lot of stuff in regards to these said states. Of course, it also has a long count, a live count even to the midterm race and to the inauguration. 25 days to go. But going forward, though, we have to talk about Pennsylvania. A lot of news is coming through Pennsylvania. A lot of people keep talking about Pennsylvania, mainly because it's growing. You would expect the conservative momentum to drop, mainly because Trump won this election. Obviously, he won, and therefore the energy, the momentum is stopped. But obviously, we should remember that there is momentum and excitement for Trump to come into office. Let's remind ourselves, less than a month away, guys, 25 days from now, Donald Trump will become the president. He will take the oath of office. He will raise his hand up, taking that oath of office. And yes, a lot of people are feeling that excitement, including me. The joy of the holidays is over, and now really we have something to look forward to is Donald Trump coming back, and we've always looked forward to that. But honestly, to be honest with you, I'm not really rushing the holidays over it. I just wish I could take this off, but as I clearly make that the case. Oh, here we go. Perfect. I found it. Okay, so this is, of course, popular vote in Pennsylvania. 49. Well, this is, of course, by county. 58 counties. 9 counties going for Kamala Harris, obviously. You'll see the counties in the said light red. And I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about darkish, lightish red, brownish red. Represents the counties that went to Trump the least. And you're going to, in the counties that are, of course, in the darkish, brownish blue, the grayish blue, that represents the counties that voted for Harris the least. And those counties are Lehigh County, you got Center County, and Lackawanna County. And those counties that barely went to Trump, that is Bucks, Northampton, Monroe, and Erie counties. And we are clearly seeing this, obviously. This is our 2024 election results. Popular vote-wise, Donald Trump won the popular vote by 50%, over 50% if you look at it, which is a great performance But people are saying, can Donald Trump extend it more? We are already seeing more registration data. Republicans are continuing to surge in registration data. The idea was Republicans would stop surging because there would be no reason for Republicans to surge. But to be honest with you, the Democrat backlash and the Democrat abuse in the Democratic Party is just scary. They like to cry insurrection, insurrection, insurrection. Well, the American people are seeing the Democrats in their true colors. They are flipping up the KKK hoods. Their hoods are up, and obviously you start to recognize what they really stand for. And people in Pennsylvania, they realize this. These Pennsylvanian Democrats, longtime blue state, they represent the old classical Clinton Democrat. These classical Clinton Democrats, they are realizing, hey, look, this is not our party. And overall, they are looking forward to Trump coming back. The idea is, can this momentum continue, and can Pennsylvania become like Florida? I don't see why it can't. Let's take a look how Florida voted in 2020. Now, we always saw this coming. Republicans were growing in Florida. We kind of knew. Everyone in 2020 thought Florida would go for Dems. Although Sabutu's crystal ball, very accurate, said that Trump would lead and win the state by a leaning margin. But ultimately, the poll said actually Biden would win within 5 percentage points. You'll see throughout these said polls. These are the averages, of course, aggregates, and in the aggregate, the subtotal of the aggregate, of course, that is going to be Biden plus 2.1, and you're going to see it's mainly tilting Democrat or leaning Democrat, but Biden was favored to win in Florida overall. And did he? No. In fact, Donald Trump improved his margin. You'll see it took, I want to believe, Trump won a 3.4% point margin, improving on his margin from 2016 by 2.2 points. This was the largest margin for any presidential election in Florida since 2004. So obviously, until 2024, which is the longest, the biggest, of course, the first time a candidate received double digits in Florida since 1988. I just totally summarized that without reading this. On election night, Trump defeated Harris in the Sunshine State by 13.1 percentage points, flipping 6 counties and winning the biggest margin since 1988. Obviously, the political climate has shifted dramatically in the state of Florida. And now, looking forward, we have to take a look at specifically Pennsylvania, because there's a possibility maybe Pennsylvania can become like that, because just like Pennsylvania, just like Florida, actually, my bad, just like Florida, Pennsylvania, Florida is a more Clinton-ish state. It voted for Clinton dramatically in the 1996 election. It didn't vote for Clinton in 1992. They were just trying to figure out Bill Clinton in 1992. And they really liked Bush, to be honest. They liked President Bush. Bush handily won the state with a 60% margin in 1988. In 1992, yeah, he won the state again. Very close race. But they also enjoyed Clinton. And running against someone like Bob Dole, renowned person though, very famous, very well known, building up huge Republican majority, but they didn't get to have him in the White House. So obviously it was a close race though. Bob Dole represents that establishment mix of Reaganism and Nixonism in there, along with some H.W. Bush. But ultimately, Bill Clinton prevailed, almost reaching over 50%. He was pretty close. And he beat it, of course, Bob Dole by over 5 points, 5.7%. And really, it was so close that arguably, I would say Gore was ultimately favored to win the state of Florida. Everyone was saying, it was going to be carried by Gore, and Gore would win this election. Not to mention, Gore was probably going to carry Missouri and Tennessee. That aged very well, by the way. They thought that southern Tennessee, that he was going to carry that, of course, at least Missouri and Tennessee, he was like nowhere different than Bill Clinton. He was from that same area. He thought he would pull the Southern strategy out. It did not work. But seeing how the said shift really worked, Florida is kind of different. Although Pennsylvania shifted dramatically, I want to believe 4 points to the right. Although Florida shifted a little bit more to the right by a little like 1% more to the right. You'll see it's a much closer 1.2%, maybe 2 to 3, 1 to 2% more to the left. To the right in 2020. Here's the deal, though. There's a difference because Trump was in office. You're expecting more states to go leftward. In fact, not in any state has a state actually trended left in this election. It wasn't by much, but ultimately every state trended right. The state that trended right the least is Washington. I actually thought we did a video and say it might be close there. It wasn't, because you got areas like Bend County, and you got those colleges in Seattle, that Marxist area, that really did benefit Kamala Harris there, ultimately. So, of course, but ultimately in every single state, Trump improved, and Kamala Harris underperformed Joe Biden's record in those said states. So that was a huge reaction in regards to that when it comes to this. So looking specifically, excuse me, at the said, can Donald Trump expand the map through Pennsylvania? The answer is probably yes. You'll see Lehigh is winnable. Scranton is winnable, like Lackawanna County. You got Center County that holds Penn State University, and that's why it's so blue, despite being very rural indeed, being middle of the Pennsylvania, very red in central Pennsylvania. Just this blue dot, that's just representing Penn State. Obviously, that does, of course, affect things there. But in 2024, it does. They did come out and they did prove overall that these elections, these counties can be won, because sure, these were very irrelevant races, but you'll see the best performance made by, well, actually, this is technically not the best performance. Let's see. Treasure, because we got, I don't know, yeah, obviously, I would just want to say and point out to you, it's going to show Lackawanna County as blue, but I want to point out in one specific race, I want to believe it, did we have attorney, it does not look like we had judicial races, but there are two counties that that Republicans couldn't flip in the Trump era, and those are the counties of Philadelphia, Montgomery County, Delaware County, Chester County, along with Allegheny County. Those are the 5 counties. And every other county, Trump ended up, not Trump, but Republicans ended up winning. Like Dauphin County was carried by said Republicans. This is the U.S. Senate. Let's take a look at the Attorney General. Yeah, Dauphin County was actually carried by DePasquale, whatever that guy's name is. Here we go. Yes, Stacey Garrity ended up carrying Dauphin, as you can clearly see there. You got, of course, Center County, that's red. You got Bucks, obviously, that went to red in the presidential level. Lehigh, which holds an amount of Puerto Ricans there. Allendale, I want something like that. That is going Republican. 2.7% for Harris. Not much. It used to be a very reliably Democrat county, but now it's going so rightward. It's kind of returned to the Republican Party. It used to be somewhat Republican. And then you got, of course, Scranton, Lackawanna County. It's going to be hard to find but it's there, and I'm going to point it out. In the 2021 Pennsylvania elections, just 3 years ago, Lackawanna County did go Republican. Republicans made some gains there. Looking all the way down, okay, we actually do not have a map, but I can tell you that Lackawanna did go Republican. I know it's hard to believe it, but in some races, it's true. Lackawanna did go conservative, and they're saying, oh, Lackawanna, it's trended so rightward lately that overall it could go Republican in the 2024 presidential race or something like that. In 2028 presidential race, where we take a 4 years of just population changes in with it more than just 4 years. So it could be that, you know what, that Scranton Joe vibe is just extinct. That morale for Scranton Joe is just gone. And overall, it does not really look suitable over there. That could be the case. So overall, I can tell you guys though, Lackawanna did go red in one of these said elections. We can take a look at the 2023 election, see if I really doubt it, that would be the case in those elections. Okay, this is, obviously, Democrats won a lot of victories. But ultimately, what do you guys think in regards to this video? Can we expand the map in Pennsylvania? And the answer is yes. It does have to depend on Trump's term. Obviously, what we're seeing right now is a lot of momentum and excitement for Trump to come. But this isn't gospel. This isn't the Bible or something. This can change. It actually can go the other direction, depending on how Republicans do abroad. Not just Trump, but Republicans abroad. And overall, because sure, Trump can't run again, but that doesn't mean, and we know for sure, Trump's presidency can affect the future Republican candidacy for 2028. And whether that be J.D. Vance or whether that be someone else, it doesn't matter. We've seen that in the case of 2008. So that's something to remember. This isn't guaranteed. It's looking very good in Pennsylvania. We want to keep this up. And eventually, we're hoping that Pennsylvania becomes a Florida. But what do you guys think in regards to this video? Let me know down below. And Merry Christmas.